So after I found out that he was engaged to be married, and I actually found out like maybe the week the week of his wedding, the week leading up to his wedding. So um, the volunteer session was Monday night, and his wedding was Saturday. And when I found out, and then I had to find out in front of everybody, I was so crushed. But what do? He was engaged to be married. And I found out that his wife, or soon-to-be wife, worked at the church. She worked in the office. And so everybody in the office knew who I was. I didn't know any of them, but they did. And do you know how ugly it is for women to, and I don't think any of them like cared that I did not know that he was, engaged to be married. I didn't know. And only the men gave me a little bit of grace. None of the women did. And so, yeah, I found out that week. So he got married. So after that, I stopped volunteering at that teenage thing. I stopped going. And then I would just go to Sunday services. And after a couple of months, there was a lot of switching up of leadership in the church. And there was a lot of changes they did. They, because everybody knew, of course, they made their like volunteers go through a program, and without that program, you couldn't volunteer at the church. Without going through that program, you couldn't volunteer. And then the pastor actually, they assigned a new pastor. So that pastor was supposed to, I think, apologize to me, because he had said that all the band members were the real deal. And at that time, I kind of let my guard down. I no longer kept looking for more information about him, and just, full blown, and started flirting with him and all that stuff. So, do you know how hard it is to keep going to a church and everybody knows your name and everybody thinks you're the, so to say, witch. It was just, it was so hard. But I kept going back because I did nothing wrong. I didn't know that he was engaged to be married. So I wish I had never gone through it, but, you learn, you live, you grow. I'm sure there's a lesson in there I'll need sometime in the future. But that was one of the hardest things that I went through. Okay, talk to you on the